How's it hanging, YouTube? Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Don't like that. How's it hanging, YouTube? Peter here, your Ginger Joe the Geek. Welcome back to the channel for another episode of Let's Talk Toys. And as ever, we've assembled a crack team of experts. Simon, sadly, is not here this week. I know you'll all be devastated about that. He is... Oh, where's he again? Is he in Japan?
Japan, yeah.
Sweet Jesus. I mean, have we briefed them? Do they know what to expect? But yeah, Simon is away. He may try and jump in the comments or something. I think he threatened with at some point, but we'll see. We'll see if he turns up. But we've got our usual selection of YouTube gods and goddesses. You're the goddess, James. We've got James T. Keegan. How are you, James?
Heyo! What's up?
Not much. You all right?
Yeah, no Simon. I don't know who I'm going to pick on this episode.
I know. And I'm liking the little head action going on here. What's this all about?
Yeah, gotta keep some movement.
It's good. It's good. We've got Luke, Hydra Collectibles. How are you, Luke?
Because Simon's not here, I'm going to do it.
Oh, yeah. Good man. Good man. Good man. Come on, Andy. Come on, Andy. You can do it. Come on, Andy. There we go. There we go.
Send that to Simon. That's a screenshot.
That's a clip. Are you all right? Luke, bless you. You're working hard now. You've got yourself a new job, so appreciate you jumping on. I know you're busy. So nice to see you, bud.
Thank you.
Excuse me. My chest still shite, gentlemen. We've got Super Sorrel fresh back from his overseas adventure in good old Florida.
Yeah.
How are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yes, not bad at all. Not bad at all. And last but not least, we've got the man bringing the much needed Lego section to the show, Andy, Perpetual Comics. How are you, Andy?
I'm all right.
Good stuff. Let's see who we've got. Oh, shit. Let's see who we've got in the chat. We've got Fuzzy of the Dunlop here for my Keegan fix, not the dollies.
There you go. Everybody needs a little Keegan in their day.
You certainly are a little Keegan. I've seen it. We've got Rogue One Photography. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you, bud. I hope you are well, Phil. Please do go. My chest. Do apologize. Please do go check out Phil's Instagram. He posts some stunning images on there, and he's also a part of a brilliant show over on Shane's channel on a Monday night. So go check that one out. We've got Von Hoot. Nice to see you, Von Hoot. Hope you're well. We've got Aussie AC. Always a pleasure to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well. Fuzzy, you know Simon is the kind of fella who claps and cheers when they're playing.
That might be the harshest thing anyone's ever said about Simon.
But I absolutely see that. I can see him doing it. But knowing Simon, he'll clap and cheer even before it's landed, won't he? Because he'll not understand what's happening. Do you know what I mean? You're just kind of random turbulence. Hey! Okay. Right, chaps. We've got loads to get through tonight, so let's crack on. As ever, we've got a mixture of different bits and bobs to show you, but we're starting with this. This is fresh off the press. Luke, you wanted to talk about this?
Yeah, so this was announced today. This is the NECA Street Diorama Animated Edition, which they released a good number of years back now. I'm not too sure if it was limited edition or just for a particular timed release, but this is something that passed me by back in the day. Many people love this set and want it for their animated version of Turtles. One gentleman, I think, recently paid a crazy amount for one. I think it was like 650 odd pounds on eBay, only for them to release it today for $150. So if there's anyone out there that wants this, it is a fantastic set. I think it was one of my very early videos of like piecing one of these things together. Really nice piece, really nice diorama, holds approximately 30 figures. So
wow.
Yeah, I highly recommend it to anyone. And also all the windows and stuff, you can put figures inside and, you know, look through. People have lit them up and everything. They're really nice set pieces.
Not bad. Does that appeal to anybody? Any of you guys gonna pick this one up?
Nope.
I already have two of the other one, so this is unlikely to. I thought I would have loved to have had this one back when if I was going to buy one or the other, I would have rather bought this one. But because I missed the window on it, I bought the other one and I repainted it myself. So yeah, unfortunately.
Do you have an Adam West Batman? Oh, such a shame. Could have done the propelling with the walking up the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would look cool. That would look
That'd
cool.
be cool, actually, yeah.
James Keegan, why
Yes.
are you moving the slides off before we finished looking at this one?
I tapped on it by mistake. I tapped.
Were
an
you
arrow,
bored?
I think.
Was-
No, I
Did
just I
you
went to
think,
grab.
moving
I
the
went.
slides
I
forward?
went to grab my bottle of water and I tapped the key by mistake. So my sincerest apologies.
We're watching you. We're watching you.
Okay.
We've got Phil here. Nice to see you, Phil. Hope you are well, my friend. Okay, Mr. Keegan, your slides.
So, biggest news of the month for me anyway. Ghost of Tsushima has a sequel. It's just been announced called Ghost of Yotei. So, a little bit about it. Anyone familiar with Ghost of Tsushima?
I've heard you. I think you talk about it a few times,
Yeah.
but I've never played it.
One of my favorite PS4 games. So it's like basically it's similar to Assassin's Creed. It's like an open world. You play like a samurai in like the Mongol invasion of Japan. So this one, it's sort of doing the Assassin's Creed thing where it's changing time periods, new protagonist. So you are a female samurai named Atsu. It's set in Mount Yotei, which is known as Hokkaido today. So that's on mainland Japan. 300 years after the events of the first game. There is guns at this point, so there'd be muskets and that kind of stuff in it. So we don't see that in the first game. So I think it's the Edo period. I think is what's referred to as. And there's new kind of weapons. So in the first one, there's like different weapon. It's one of the best combat systems in any game, but there's basically like sword stances. So there's like quick ones, one-handed, two-handed. This one, there's different weapon types. So in the bottom right there, you see this kind of like chain whip kind of thing. So it looks very cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm stoked for this. Like, the Ghost of Tsushima is probably one of the best games Sony's put out in the last 10 years or so. So, like, that was maybe 2020, I want to say. So 4 years, so this is coming out next year. So stoked. Looks incredible. Like, I'm very excited. A bit disappointed that, like, because Jin is, like, the protagonist of the first game, love him. So moving on to a new character, I'm a bit like, okay. But, like, I'm confident Atsu will be a great character as well.
Very cool. Andy, I don't know. Are you a gamer?
No, I don't have the patience or skill level, to be honest, but to play games. But whenever you brought these, whenever they brought these pictures up, I was like, "Is that like Wish You Were Here pictures from Simon?"
Yeah, these are Simon snaps.
He's probably hiking Mount Yotei right now, I think. Yeah.
Very good. Lego.
Guys, I'm as surprised to be back as you are, so don't worry, okay? Let's just roll with it. This is Disney Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas set. I think this is absolutely fantastic, and my wife may or may not want me to pick this up for Christmas. So this set has 2,193 parts, and it's going to set you back about 170 quid. But I think it's fair to say for any sort of Tim Burton fan, for any Nightmare Before Christmas fan, this is the go-to Lego set to pick up. I think it's absolutely superb. And I think at last count it comes with like about 7 minifigures as well. So you're getting a bit of bang for your buck. Luke, I know you're a Nightmare Before Christmas fan.
Yeah, this looks absolutely phenomenal. I love the Jack Skeleton with the elongated legs. You know, because as far as Lego goes, that's quite a rarity to actually find. When they first announced this, I was like absolutely thrilled for it. Then I saw the price and I was like, oh, can I justify it? I think I'm still going to, but I do wish that just that bit on the left-hand side with the moon and them standing there, if they just sold that as a cheaper set, that would sell all day long. The other stuff is really cool, but I don't feel like I need the other stuff to have Nightmare Before Christmas represented on my shelf. I would just rather have that one section with the 2 characters and the dog, and that would be enough for me. But it's a fantastic set, and I probably will still pull the trigger and buy this.
They could even split that into 3 sets so that you've got the mayor and the town hall, Jack and the tower, and then Sally and the moon and stuff. They could have sold that as 3 separate things that you then build it over time kind of thing. I think that would have been good, but yeah, so, it's the price. It's the price of it for me again. 170. I like.
As a Lego noob, do they do that? Do they release big sets and then at a later date release them as shorter sets or not?
No, but so like with the Harry Potter stuff, for example, you could have bought like the main castle as one set, or you can buy different sets that can build another castle. It's not the same castle, it's not the same thing,
right?
but you can kind of build it yourself with the smaller sets. That's what my wife's opted to do with her Harry Potter Lego, which also means that you can add rooms and places that haven't been released yet. You can build them yourself.
I used to. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say I hate doing it. I tend to agree with Luke that kind of scene next to the moon is kind of the iconic imagery, isn't it,
Poster,
from the movie and stuff. So I'm kind of surprised that isn't a separate standalone piece. I guess this makes people who want that buy the full set, doesn't it?
For 170 quid. So yeah.
I used to be a big collector of Lego up until about a couple of years ago, where they seemed to like stop making the cheaper sets. I used to like getting the sets that were like between £8 and 25 quid. That was my sweet spot for Lego. I could justify that.
Yeah.
But they seem to have stopped making those. Like when the Batman Lego movie came out, I had like every single one of the cars because they were all like 25, 30 quid. I could justify that. But when they start doing these ginormous sets for like 100 and 200 pounds, I'm like, nah, I'm out.
It's the Disney tax, isn't it? Like they have to
basically
add that cost to use the characters to have the license. And
yeah,
the only one that I've nearly pulled the trigger on was Hocus Pocus. That was the one that I nearly pulled the trigger on. I still haven't, but I probably will do.
I have just Lego.
It's worth saying, guys, that this particular set is like a Lego ideas set. So someone came up with this concept, put it to the vote, and I think after you get 10,000 votes, then Lego will actually consider it to be made.
Okay.
So yeah, this particular set, you're paying a premium for getting that sort of Nightmare Before Christmas license.
And Andy, I think you were saying last time about the minifigures being a lot of the time being exclusive to sets. I presume a lot of these minifigures won't be sold separately. You can only get them in this set.
Certainly, but for this particular set, they'll all be exclusive. But if they bring out other sets on top of this, because I've got the feeling that they might build on this each year if they can, and so you make up like a whole Nightmare Before Christmas, a bigger scene. But I agree with you guys. I think that the iconic sort of part at the end, if they made that into maybe a bigger set, I think that might be the way to go. Very
cool, very cool. And we've got quite a few chat comments here. Yeah, I saw this. Fuzzy, the Oogie Boogie actor, just passed away today, sadly. Iconic voice. We've got MJ in the chat. Nice of you to join, bud. We've got Phil saying, never watched Nightmare Before Christmas. Any good?
Sacrilege.
I'd been challenged to watch. I did a show with Rob Fatstacks. He's obsessed with friggin' Nightmare Before Christmas, and he challenged us to watch it. I have to say, I loved it. I thought it was great. Really, really cool little film.
I think it's just decent.
To answer Phil's next question, it's a Christmas film.
Yeah. Fuzzy saying it's Hammer horror film. Excellent. And they're bound to do an NBX blind bag soon. Yeah, potentially. Yeah. Okay. 1/6 scale figures. This is just freshly announced. This is the Suicide Squad Harley Quinn Artisan Edition. Artisan Edition basically means it's got rooted hair that you can comb and play with to your little heart's desire. I don't know what I think about this. I think the body of the figure, the costume is spot on. I'm not a fan of that head sculpt at all. I don't know why. It just doesn't. I think it's the mouth. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah, it doesn't look right.
I'm surprised there's not multiple. I suppose with the rooted hair it'd be too expensive, but like multiple face options.
Yeah. No, just get the one.
Yeah, because it's just. I think every figure of her from Hot Toys has had this kind of expression. So I don't know. Is it just the makeup or something? It just looks a bit off.
Just looks weird, doesn't it?
It's also, do you know what? It's just too late to have this. Like, it's been such a long time coming. Like King Shark came out 2 years ago. There's been third-party Polka Dot Mans. I know a lot of people wanted to build a Suicide Squad set, and they've been waiting on this for a while. I love the design. I love the costume. Like, this is one of probably my favorite Margot Robbie look for Harley.
Yeah.
So it's cool, but like I'm not gonna get it anyway.
Yeah, and because it's an artisan edition, it'll be very pricey and limited. So it does nothing for me. But I'm sure if there's big Harley Quinn fans out there, I'm sure they might jump on this. But
that is probably the best rooted hair on a female figure I've seen, though.
Yeah.
Like if that's what it manages to look like out of the box, I'm skeptical of that.
Yeah,
Because, you know, like if
it'll
it's
not.
gonna, if anyone can actually get the hair to look like that, but it looks, hair wise,
It has a very like uncanny valley look to it, doesn't it? Like it looks almost human, but it's not. And it's like that human instinct of that's not real, but it's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Fuzzy saying shocking face sculpt, he's not a fan. That looks nothing like your Australian actress woman.
like the picture on the left there looks like that could be a photo of her. Do you know?
Phil's in literally a Barbie for adult men. Yeah. She looks she's out of weight. And it's a 3,000 limited run. Yeah, not for me, that one, guys.
They'll probably do the dress look as well, I would say. Just get 2 for 1 on the...
At some point down the line.
Hang on, there's a doll on the screen, and this isn't me.
This side's got a doll on, so I'm not sure who this is. Is this Luke or is it?
This is me.
Oh?
This is me.
Wow.
So this is Mattel making Barbie versions for the new Wicked film. I love the stage musical of Wicked. Me and my wife have been a few times. I'm looking forward to my kids going to see it when they're a little bit older. Obviously, there's a new film coming out, and the Wicked Witch of the West, such a key character. Not really for me, but it is a toy show and it is news, and it's nice to mix it up every now and then. So I thought I'd include it on the slides. What is for me though is this Joker figure by McFarlane Toys. Unfortunately, it sold out. I haven't been able to get hold of one, but it really reminds me of that original Joker figure from when I was a child. I think it was made by Kenner Toys, or was it? I can't remember who it was made
I
by.
had that as
Kenner.
well. I think looking at the figure, it looks like a throwback to that.
Really reminds me of that figure, and so when I saw this, I instantly wanted it. Rushed over to Props and Replicas, sold out, gone. So hopefully I'll be able to pick one up at some point down the line. And then we got Real Monsters by Mondo Toys.
I forgot that exists. That show.
I
used to love
loved that show when I was a kid. Very much in the vein of the Beetlejuice animated cartoon, if anyone ever watched that. It's one of those like gritty kind of kids cartoons where everything was a bit gruesome and gnarly,
Dirty,
but really good fun. And I loved that cartoon. Unfortunately, being Mondo, these are probably going to cost you a fair penny, and therefore they're probably going to be out of reach for most people, including myself.
I assume that's a multi-pack, is it? Like one
Again,
session,
I'm not sure. I don't know if they're selling them singly. Also, they're quite big. I saw someone like holding one. They're not small figures.
Okay.
I don't think they're quite like 1/6 scale size, but they are bigger than your standard. They look fantastic. Mondo always do a great job with this animated style. But yeah, it's that price point that I think is going to put me off.
Jumping back to the Joker, is that my eyesight? Is that a changeable hand with the fish in his hand? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm wondering is the box art. That's very much Batman '89 Batman logo, mono, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that original toy that I'm referring to from like the Kenner days, that was all released during that time where you had the whole Batcave, the Batmobile, Batman and Robin, etc. It was all from like that sort of period.
Yeah, that was the Batman logo for a long time.
A very long time, yeah.
Very specific to Keaton.
Well, that logo, that particular design was created for the Keaton movie.
Yeah, but it was adopted it was across all Batman, merchandise for a long time. Still kind of is considered like the official one,
Andy, you're a Joker fan. Are you going to pick this one up?
It gives me sort of Brian Boland vibes.
That's what I'm getting. Yeah,
it kind of feels as if we've seen this particular version, particularly from McFarlane Toys before. So I'm just trying to work out why I would pick it up because it looks kind of the same as the other ones. Not too sure.
Yeah. Just speaking of Batman, you guys watching The Penguin?
Not yet, no.
I think I'm going to wait till it's all
Brilliant.
Yeah, waiting.
I've been lambasted by some of you guys for not particularly gushing over the Batman movie, but I absolutely love The Penguin.
That's what put me off initially, is I didn't like the movie. But people have said that this has been really good, and so like James, I'm waiting for the whole thing to be out.
It's funny because I walked in on my dad watching it. Like he was 5 minutes into it, and I was there. Like, do I tell him that this is a Batman thing and he's not going to want to watch anymore? And I said it down, and then he said, "I watched The Penguin. It was shite." So I was like, "All right, so there must be a reference to Batman or something like that." And he turned, "Oh, superhero."
No, it's very good, very good. Von Hoot saying the Joker toys from the Burton line were like that because they didn't want to pay Nicholson's likeness. Yeah, I do remember that, mate. You're right. Okay, so Luke does dolls this month. You're doing wrestlers.
This month, this month, I've actually not done as many dolls. There's only 2 doll slides this month, but no, this set caught my eye because I'm a big 90s and 2000s wrestling fan, and the Hardys obviously were like one of the biggest tag teams of when I was growing up. The fact that they're going to do a nice 2-pack, it's a decent set for the Hardys. It's the more modernized Matt Hardy as well, with his kind of like delete and all that kind of like what do you call it? Like he's what's it, broken Matt Hardy sort of era. So I'm really looking forward to that. It looks a good set. I don't really normally pick up AEW figures, but because it's the Hardys, I just have to grab them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a big wrestler. Have you guys watched this Netflix documentary?
Yeah.
Is it worth watching? Is it any good?
It more or less just chronicles the history of WWE and all the scandals, basically.
Right.
It's all right though. It's an enjoyable watch, but I mean, I think you've got to be a bit of at least be into wrestling a little bit to kind of like enjoy it. I think
I'll probably give it a miss. Phil's saying Abilene is 8 inches apparently, but he's got nothing to scale that with, so who knows what 8 inches is? Yeah. Okay, more Hot Toys stuff. I've just done their general view of some of the stuff that came out rather than going into each figure in detail. We've got the Avengers Campus Iron Man. That's pretty cool. That's a die-cast figure. We've got the relaunch of the Amazing Spider-Man figure with a pretty impressive, I think, Andrew Garfield head sculpt. The figure itself is really, really cool. They've released this figure before, but this one's got an updated costume. The body of the figure is much better. It's got kind of more Garfield-like dimensions. And by that, what I mean is it's longer and ganglier. It's a really nice figure, that one. Really nice. I quite like that. And then we've got a bit of a surprise that I didn't see coming. We've got a Hot Toys, so not a Hono, a Hot Toys Dr. Doom. There's recently been a third-party Doom figure, which I bought, which looks very similar to this in design in many areas. But I don't think anybody was expecting this one to come out particularly from the Hot Toy line, rather than their kind of comic version of characters line. But it's pretty cool. You get 2 head sculpts, 3, I think, on the special edition. You get the Darkhold, his sidearm gun. You get some magical effects for his hands. It's nice. It's nice. Andy, I know you were looking at this one and eyeing it up.
Yeah,
pretty sexy figure.
I love a bit of Doctor Doom, and I did go ahead and pre-order this one.
Oh, right.
And it's the only Hot Toy or only 1/6 scale figure that I bought that I'm just hoping that they do well, because Doctor Doom deserves to be presented well in your display. So
I'm struggling. I'm going to wait and see what yours is like, because I got, like I say, the third-party figure, which is very nice. I like it a lot, but it's quite short in comparison to some of my other Hot Toys. It looks fine where I've got him standing on the throne and whatnot, but I'd be interested to see what the height comparison's like on this one compared to that one, and I may pull the trigger and get this one as well. And then we've got a Samurai Predator.
Yeah, this one I like.
Yeah,
I just like that mashup of Samurai and Predator.
Yeah.
Like that's the Predator movie I want. Like a Samurai Predator movie. So I love seeing this kind of concept.
It's very cool, and it comes with some great accessories. So you can't really say that well on that image, James, but you've got a kind of a section of an alien head as well. That comes with it.
Yeah.
The special edition, I wouldn't necessarily jump and get excited for. It comes with like a Japanese symbol which clips on the front of his mask, but for me, it just spoils the look of the mask. But yeah, I think this looks pretty darn cool. Any of those appeal to you guys? Obviously, Andy, I know you're going for the Doom then. Luke, I know you're a Spider-Man fan.
I am, but out of all of them, it would be the Doctor Doom that I would go for if I was going to go down any route. Like Fuzzy says in the comments there, another Iron Man. Woo, so new, different.
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah,
if you, is there anyone that's excited by an Iron Man toy these days?
Well, yes, not us, but so the reason they keep making them is because for the overseas market, particularly the overseas market, they're absolutely mad on mechs and all that kind of stuff, and Iron Man just sells. For us, you're absolutely right. I couldn't give a toss about another variant of friggin' Iron Man. Give us something different, you know?
There's probably people though that have like their entire hot toy
Yeah.
collection is Tony Stark in the middle and all the Iron Man suits.
Yeah.
You know, so they'll just love this. Like,
Yeah. What about you, Sorrel? Any of these interest you?
If anything, it'd be the Predator. The Predator looks awesome.
It does, doesn't he? He looks very cool.
is that 500? Limited to 500?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But very sexy. Very sexy.
It's AVP branded, so I'm curious. Is there an AVP Samurai Set AVP like comic or something?
Yeah. Don't know.
What's the turnaround time on these? So, like Andy, you've pre-ordered this. When does it actually get to your hands?
It's a good question. I didn't even look.
So
I just ordered it.
When
Totally
they,
right.
when
Totally
they
right.
announce
Totally
like
random.
things like this, like 4, 2, 3, 4 at a time, that usually means it's near, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's totally right. You can never really quite tell with Hot Toys, unfortunately. So, you know, as we've just seen, we've just got a Harley Quinn kind of figure from however long ago. Sometimes they'll show you an image, and it'll be 2-3 years before it hits the shelves. Other times they show you the image, and before you know it, they're shipping. You know, it just seems a bit random. I'm pretty sure we'll get these rapidly. I think the Doom you'll probably get first quarter next year, maybe.
James, to answer your question, Samurai Predator was a DLC pack for Predator Hunting Grounds, the game.
Right.
It was a predator
Video-
that hunted during feudal Japan.
Oh, I love that idea.
Video
So I
game
was-
version,
there's some
James,
details to that.
even more appealing to you. Even more appealing.
Yeah, well, that's it. But no, but it is branded AVP, not Predator Hunting Grounds. I'm curious why.
Yeah.
This is a really good point from Phil. So, for those of you that don't know, you've got Hot Toys, which is really predominantly marketed for likenesses of characters. So that's your MCU figures, Star Wars figures, all that kind of stuff. And they pride themselves on the face sculpts. And then Hot Toys have got a sub kind of company called Hono, which has now started doing the cheaper comic accurate characters. So what they call an entry level figures, which for me is still very, very pricey, but still the class in it is an entry level. So it's very strange for them to do a comic version Doom on the Hot Toys line rather than the Hono. But as Phil says, it was probably earmarked, but the production cost pushed it beyond what they'll class as the Hono price. Fuzzy saying, I love the Doom if I could afford it, but I can't, so balls to it. And Andy's just confirmed Q4 2025 to 2026 for the Doom. Yeah, very cool.
Plus, at the moment, anything Doom's going to sell anyway because of the Robert Downey Jr. thing. Like anything Doom right now is hot, so they'll just put it on the highest price point for that.
But that's the interesting thing, really. You've got that comic version Doom coming out. They're pretty much guaranteed to do an MCU Doom now with a Robert Downey face sculpt
Oh yeah.
as well, you know.
I'm just waiting for Marvel Legends because it'll be 10/27 when Hasbro do their next announcement, and I'll guarantee you there'll be a Doctor Doom on the throne released very soon, if not, in a couple of weeks.
Absolutely. Mr. Keegan.
Some PlayStation news. The PS5 Pro has been announced to very mixed to negative reception. So primarily it doesn't have a disk drive. So there is like if you get a base PS5, there's a version with a disk drive and a version without. So this one just doesn't have one. Now there is like an attachable thing you can buy, but it's another £100. So people were like totting it up that if it's, I think it's like $700. I think it's also £700, and like it's €800 or something. It'd be nearly $1,000 to get like the console, a disc drive, and like a stand. I think you have to buy separately as well.
Yeah.
So people are kind of pissy that it seems like a bit of a rip-off. It doesn't seem like that big of a leap forward. Like there's some graphics comparisons. Basically, like when you have a PS5 game now, you often have a choice between like performance mode or fidelity mode. So do you want the graphics to look better, or do you want the game to run a bit smoother? So they're kind of trying to blur that line where it's like you don't have to choose, you get both. But I think, I mean, it's £700, $700 is just absurd, I think, for a console, especially when like this generation hasn't really been that big of a leap forward. I can't see this being that much more. So yeah, I got a PS4 Pro when that came out. I'm not gonna get this. I just don't think it's worth it. The upgrade. I'll just wait for a PS6 to come out in 4 years' time. But obviously, people, it's selling out anyway, despite the fact that people are pissy. And there is it's PlayStation's 30th anniversary this year, and they announced like a special edition. It's like a kind of color schemed like the original PlayStation. They did one for the PS4 as well for the 25th. And that is being scalped to oblivion. So it's $5,000. Some of them are going for. So the actual set, it's 2 controllers, I think, disc drive and the console are about $1,000 when you buy it. $5,000 it's going for on eBay, which is just.
Who's paying $5,000 for a console?
It's limited. So I can't remember the specific number that there is, but I think it's only 5,000 units or something like that. These kind of things do tend to go up in value as time goes on, but like, I mean, $5,000 is just absurd. Like, that's shocking. You know? People get FOMO. I think they just want one, and you know, if you're a millionaire, why do you care? Like, you know, it's just $5,000. So I suppose, but still.
Anybody getting one? Anybody getting one for $5,000?
I've pre-ordered 2.
I thought you might. Yeah.
From AliExpress.
So, bit of a thumbs down. Like, but that's the thing. The controllers, I think you can get separately. Like, you don't need to actually get the console, and I think you can get like the faceplates separate as well. So like, you could just do that for like 150 quid. You get the thing and just put it on your own PS4.
I think we'll pass. We'll pass.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is the Wednesday Addams figure, and I think it's released today. I think if you went into directly into the shops, you can maybe get it a day or two early. But I just this jumped out to me. I know my eldest daughter would love this. It comes with 702 pieces. It's only $44.99, and it features posable buildable figure with 2 faces and 2 outfits, school uniform, and a dance dress. And the set also includes the base, a name plaque, typewriter, Nero's tomb, and a crystal ball. I just thought it looked cool. Nice display piece.
I just watched Wednesday for the first time last week. Finished the thing.
Good.
Really good. Surprised.
Yeah.
Bit CWE sometimes, but I think it's like Jenna Ortega pushes it up, I think. You know.
Yeah, but it jumps from CWE, because you're right, to then kind of quite graphic horror at points.
Oh yeah, I like
Yeah.
the Mr. Hyde kind of thing. It's really cool. Yeah, no, it's very solid. I like Addams Family, so I thought it was a cool take on it.
Yeah. I quite like this. It looks to me like you get a good bang for your buck with this one. There seems to be a lot going on there for 50 quid.
I was annoyed because the new sets that have come out for like Wednesday and Wicked are those like Lego Friends style minifigures in them. I'm not a big fan of those. I like the traditional Lego minifigure. So I was like, I would buy the sets for the minifigures mainly, you know what I mean, and have the sets for a while on my shelf. But I was like, I don't want to buy the Wednesday set and get the stupid giant Lego minifigures from the Friends style sets. So I just wish they would have done it like regular Lego.
Normal Lego. Luke, is this the one you're getting?
So, like Andy said, like my daughter would love this as well. This would be fantastic for her. She's a big fan of the Addams Family. We watched the original movies the other day. But it's the price point. You know, she's 8 years old. You know, she isn't going to want to spend £45 on a Lego set. Least of all, me spending £45.
I was going to say she wouldn't. You would buy it.
Well, no, because that's the thing. Like, I'm not just going to go out and spend £45 for no reason. But if it's like a birthday or Christmas or anything like that, then yeah, sure, that's different. But when she goes to the shops, you know, she's very aware of how much things cost. And given the choice between this set at 45 or another set closer to 30, she's going to go for like a Lego Friends set for 30 quid, which will be something, you know, different in its entirety. So it is just the price point. You know, if it was just that little bit cheaper, again, it's all down to the licensing. You know, this could sell to young kids, but really that's not what they're marketing it for. They're marketing it to us adults.
So Andy, are you picking this one up then?
I think I will. Yeah. See, that's where my eldest daughter's different from yours, Luke, though, because my eldest daughter would go into the shops and say, "Daddy, pick up 2 and put one on eBay."
Trained well.
Yeah.
Luke, this is nice. I like this.
Yes. So this is the Figura Obscura from Four Horsemen Studios. As you guys know, I am a big fan of this line. And this is Frankenstein's monster as depicted from the original novel. So this is the novel version of the creature. As soon as they announced this, I think it was last weekend. Maybe As soon as they announced this, I was all over it, not just because of the figure, but because of these awesome accessories. So as I've said to you guys before, the whole Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions kind of line is all interchangeable amongst various figures. And so a lot of these parts can be used for other things. So as soon as I saw the image, my brain started ticking. What other figures can I build from this set? What can I create? What sort of diorama scenes can I do? And yeah, I pulled the trigger and it arrived within 4 days. And it's absolutely blown me away. It is a fantastic figure. And at the moment, I think it is still currently available. I think it ends today. I think the sale ends today or tomorrow. So if you are interested, now's the time to jump on. If not, you won't be able to get this thing unless you go on the secondary market.
Is that right price, Luke? About 70 quid?
Yes, that's so including postage over to here. So I paid £70 for the figure and the postage altogether.
But like you say, it arrives so fast. Every time you order from Four Horsemen Studios, it arrives so quick.
The only reason
always well packed, perfect condition. There's never any issues.
No, they're amazing. They really are. And the one thing that I will say, 70 quid for an action figure, yeah, it's steep, but that's why God invented PayPal Pay in 3.
Through that.
But I tell you what, though, I'm on the.
I don't think that's a bad price for. Sorry, I don't think that's a bad price for the amount of. When you were looking at Marvel Legends and some of the Star Wars Black Series and stuff that Simon collects, when you look at the amount of accessories you get with it and the detail on the sculpt, 70 quid's not that bad. I don't think.
Well, that's how I justify it in my head. So the way I normally do when I look at a figure like this is I go, okay, 70 quid. That's the equivalent of buying 2 figures. Do I think that 2 figures is worth this 1 figure? And if the answer is yes, especially given all these accessories and everything, then I pull the trigger and I go for it. And the beauty of this is that even if I got it in hand and I decided I didn't like it, you could still sell it on the after price market afterwards because it's so limited. You'd get your money back, if not more. So yeah, I'm a bit of a sucker for this line. I will eventually do a room tour, and you guys will see I have a lot of Mythic Legions figures. It's become quite an addiction.
Yeah, they're very good at Mythic Legions. I love them. But I passed on this one just because a lot of it is, for me anyway, I think a lot of it is like stuff I already more or less have from the NECA collection. So obviously NECA have done a lot of Universal Monsters. I didn't feel this was a big enough of a jump for me to pull the trigger, as well because there's going to be another Figure Obscura released in about 6 weeks. Right. They always do 2. They do Halloween and Christmas. Yeah. And I'm excited to see what's going to come at Christmas. Plus, if they're jumping on Frankenstein, I'm hoping next Halloween they might go for a book accurate Dracula. And go for like the old man Dracula when Jonathan Harker first meets him and he's got the long white hair and stuff. Yeah. That would be an awesome figure for them to do.
But then if they do that, will you regret not getting this one? Because that was my biggest concern. I was like, if they then start doing more of those classic tales, what I would love personally is a Jekyll and Hyde 2-pack.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in a 2-pack.
You need the loose collector. Have you seen the loose collector one that I've got of Jekyll?
No.
Mate, let me grab him.
While you're grabbing him, what I will say is they also do retailer exclusives of a lot of these figures.
So Loose Collector made the best Mr. Hyde ever.
Oh, yes, I have seen it. Yeah, Monster Hyde. Yeah.
Monster Hyde, absolutely amazing. Beats the crap out of Marvel Legends 1. I've got him stood on the shelf with all my monsters. He just stands perfectly with them. But yeah, I mean, it'd be hard to beat that one.
Yeah, he's an awesome figure. They done a retailer exclusive, didn't they, with him wearing black?
Yes, and the Figure Obscura. What you were saying about Figure Obscura, they do the same thing. So I've missed this one. Yeah, I'm not getting this version of Frankenstein, but they always do a secondary release. And like the Headless Horseman second release came with all the fancy green, which I think looks even better than the original. To be honest,
that's the one I pulled the trigger on. Sorry, we're gushing here now.
Very cool.
Yeah, we are.
Let's move on. Let's move on. Oh, shit.
Yes,
Dolly's out of the way, though, isn't it? So, okay.
So obviously it was the Batman Day the other day, and they announced that the Barbie signature line, we're going to create some more of the Barbie dolls for Batman, and we're going to get a Poison Ivy and a Harley Quinn. They're not cheap though; they're like 60 quid a pop.
Wow.
Yes, they're not cheap. They're one of those, like, it's like when they released the Barbie movie dolls and like that annoyed the crap out of me. But yeah, these are going to be like 60 quid a pop. So the poison ivy is very tempting. To be fair, I do like the poison ivy. The Harley's not very. I don't like the Harley. It looks a bit crap. But I think the poison ivy looks pretty cool.
Andy, should we chip in and get that Harley for Charlie for Christmas?
I think he actually already has it, but is it mad that the face sculpt on this is better than the hot toy that we just looked at?
Absolutely is, yeah, absolutely is. You're right. I think he has got that one, but I think it blows up. I'm not sure why. But yeah, nice figures. I wanted to mention this briefly. This is the InArt Superman. This is now shipping. So it pisses us off a little bit with InArt. What InArt do is they release in waves. So the influencers or YouTubers that have got a relationship with InArt seem to get their versions or their characters earlier, and then I might not get this until 4 or 5 months down the line.
But Peter, I thought you were an influencer.
Shite. So this is the Henry Cavill Superman. It is absolutely phenomenal. I've watched a few videos on this. Of people who've unboxed it. It's just breathtaking. You get 2 different head sculpts. You get the kind of the standard stoic look, and then you can't really see it in the images, but you kind of get a crushed up face with his heat vision starting to activate. You get a whole host of accessories, including Batman's cowl, a kryptonite spear. You get a kryptonite grenade and all kinds of stuff, and a clear flight stand, a draping cape, and then a wired cape as well. I just think it's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So I've paid for this. This is all paid off, and it should be hopefully on its way at some point soon. So looking forward to getting that one. James, we're still waiting on Batman, aren't we? I mean, it's madness to me that some people have got this and we're still waiting on Batman.
I'm just dreading a bill to come, so
Yeah.
I'm happy to let it sit for a little bit before it comes.
I
But yeah,
reckon
like,
that's going to
some
be
people.
Is it 450 or something like that for the Batman?
Something like that. I can't remember, but the deposit was like 80 or something like that. So I think like 300-400. We'll get it soon. Like it'll be any day. It really feels like so. Yeah.
The trick with this one is I paid monthly, so it doesn't feel like I've paid for it. I have, but I've been paying for it for the last year or something like that.
Clever. That's what I should have done.
Yeah, I should have done that with the Batman as well.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of head sculpts, this is just beautiful. Phil saying this is coming home eventually. Yeah. Now the exciting thing for this one, I don't know what you're thinking about it, Phil, but InArt have shown some sneak peeks of a Christopher Reeve Superman. I might have to get that as well. Andy, I know you're a massive Superman fan. You picking this one up?
No, I'm not a huge Superman fan at all, but I do love these. I think these are great. The only Superman that I would be interested in getting would be the Alex Ross.
Yeah.
Superman.
So there is a 1/6 scale figure for that coming out.
Yeah, I would be tempted for that, but yeah. So what? My ignorance. So what pose would you put it in, Peter? Would you go for one of these poses, or?
It'll depend when it gets here, and I have a bit of a play with it. I love the heat vision sculpt, but I'm a sucker for Superman in terms of his heroic presence. So I'm probably going to go for a very bland stand and just looking like he looks there. Do you know what I mean?
That bottom left one is sick. Like,
Yeah.
that's the way to go. I would think. That's the iconic scene in the Man of Steel where he's flying up.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to have a play with it. The people who've done this pose in this image are experts. Do you know what I mean? My fat digits, I can never get it posed anywhere near that good.
There'd be a lot of the accessories that you wouldn't use depending on what pose you went for. So you're going to have to buy 2.
But naturally. Good point, Andy. I'll get to. Now that's the hard part with Hot Toys in these 1/6 scale figures. You invariably get a shit ton of stuff that you just leave in a box. I very rarely use a lot of the accessories on any Hot Toys I pick up. I love the bat sculpt, the bat cowl on this, but again, I doubt I'll use it. But yeah, I think this is a great figure. Phil saying incredible. That platinum body under the suit is very clever. Yeah, so this is an interesting point. So Hot Toys have done a lot of versions of this, and the costume always has because in the movie it's got that kind of silver sheen to it. So the costume's always got that kind of printed on the material, and it looks okay. What InArt have done is his body is actually covered in silver, and then the blue costume is a very kind of light blue costume that goes over the top, and you can see the silver underneath it. So when you move the blue on the top, it kind of shifts around, and it just looks
Clever.
amazing, absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's stunning, absolutely stunning. Anyway, moving on, enough gushing because I absolutely love this figure. Back to you, James.
Some Ubisoft news. So Assassin's Creed Shadows. This came right after the Ghost of Yotai announcement. So a lot of people were like, "Ooh, Assassin's Creed must be shitting it," because they also have an open world samurai game coming out. So that was supposed to come out, I think, in November. That's been pushed now to February 14th. I think it's the first Assassin's Creed game to not come out in like the winter, like pre-Christmas time. So curious how that's going to affect sales. It's interesting because at Star Wars Outlaws, so Ubisoft also published that. So it's interesting to me that they didn't delay both games and put Star Wars out in November, and then because a lot of people are having issues with the polish on that game, that it's buggy and the launch didn't really go great. So yeah, like it would have made more sense, I think, to push both games and have a big game then for Christmas, but they don't. So yeah, I'm not really. I'll wait to see what reviews are like, but like if that's coming out February, I'd imagine Ghost of Tsushima will be like May, or Ghost of Yotai. So I'll just wait for that. That'll be my samurai game, you know. So yeah, interesting. And then yeah, Star Wars Outlaws sales have negatively affected Ubisoft's stock price because the game didn't sell very well. So yeah, partly due to the kind of the buggy kind of launch. Like I've not even bought it. I was stoked for a pre-launch, and I
You've talked about this game for like 2 years, James.
could not wait.
And you've not bought it.
Not yet, no. Part of it is just I just didn't really have the time to invest in. Like it's an open world game. I want a couple of days off to like sit and play it. But also like the game's just not in a great state, like physically, like bugs and game breaking ones and memories getting deleted and stuff like that. So I'm like happy to wait. I also think if it's not sold well, it'll get a pretty hefty price drop. Like
yeah, that's what Phil's saying in the chat, that he's waiting for it to drop.
Yeah, they'll have a Christmas sale or something like that. You'll probably get like 30-40 quid off of it. So I'll wait for that. Like I am looking forward to playing it, but I don't need to play it right now.
No.
So.
Andy, would a Star Wars game not tempt you to pick up a console?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think that would probably be my go-to game that would, something that interests me. But I can't see me spending huge amounts of time, with life, working, kids. I just don't know how people do it.
Yeah, fair point. I got a PlayStation at Christmas and I barely touch it, to be fair.
I just turned mine on today for the first time in months. Since Helldivers, since you were playing Helldivers a few months ago, I've not touched it since.
Andy, man, I might want this.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have to be quick because it's retiring soon. So I believe that it's going to be sometime the end of this year or start of next year that they're going to retire this set. This is a Ghostbuster Ecto 1. 2,532 parts to this set, and it retails for about $209.99. You can find it cheaper. It's going for about $175, $180 at the minute. But once this retires, they're suggesting that there's going to be about a 6% increase on the day that it retires, and then roughly about 4.5% to 5% every year. So I have this set, and I would highly recommend anybody who doesn't have it to pick it up, whether it's just to build it because it's fantastic, or if they want it as an investment piece. You're on mute,
Luke.
They have these in my local Costco. What was that?
Pick them up.
What was that? Was that you, Mr. Keegan?
No, I was muted, sir.
Where did that
How much are they, Luke?
Sorry, my phone vibrating. So I've just turned it on silent. It was my phone vibrating.
I think they were about 180, if I remember correctly. But I don't. Again, with Costco, we might add the VAT to that afterwards. I don't know.
Yeah.
It still boggles my mind the potential investment of these. You know what I mean? In terms of how much you can make.
But do you think? Sorry.
Do you right?
I was just going to say, do you think this will be like the Star Wars Millennium Falcon, where even though it's retiring, we'll get another version released in a couple of years when they make another movie?
I honestly don't think so. So they've made two versions, maybe three versions of this. So they had one for the female Ghostbuster movie, and then they had a smaller version of this. I think once this is done, that'll be it. done and dusted.
I-
really
I-
can't see them.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I beg to differ. I reckon there's one more,
Yeah.
and it'll be the new one with the new Ghostbusters and Paul Rudd, and I think
Yeah,
there's not one
potentially.
more in them just yet, with the door that slides out and stuff like that.
Well, they were talking about changing the color of the Ecto one as well, and having it like almost like an evil Ecto one,
right.
and have so they might bring out something for that. But I would say for anybody who's in the investment in Lego, this would definitely be a set to pick up. I think this will really pop.
Very cool. Very cool. I do like the look of it. It looks nice. It looks nice. Ooh, Luke, bit of Beetlejuice action.
Beetlejuice. Yeah, so I didn't like the new movie, and I've made several videos on my channel saying why I don't like it. However, that's not to say that we don't have some amazing merchandise. And
So much
NECA
merchandise. It's
NECA
everywhere.
obviously NECA obviously re-released some very old figures, which I spoke about last month, but then they've also given us this one, and this is actually my favorite Beetlejuice look, which is when they first awaken him out of his tomb and he's wearing like the tour guide outfit and stuff like that. He's really gnarly and dirty and very gross. So I'm really excited to finally get this in action figure form with full articulation, unlike the others. But then knocking it out the park is the Mezco 112, which I just think is absolutely phenomenal. Now, I've mentioned the Mezco 112 series to you before, where it's basically a 1/6 scale action figure, just shrunken down to 6 inches, all with the same sort of accessories and fabrication for clothing, etc. It's a marvelous piece, and this actually comes with like the gravestone and everything else all with it. So yeah, I instantly pulled the trigger on both these items, and I can't wait to add them to my Beetlejuice collection.
We talked
Yeah, the
about
Mezco one I pre-ordered straight away as soon as it came out, because it comes with the carousel head as well, doesn't it? As
Yeah,
well as the
and
big
big
elongated arms. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we talked about the Mezco one over on One Good Scare, because, like you say, it comes with the kind of the what's it called, the arms where he hits the arms and all that kind of stuff. It looks
But
very cool.
this is what I love, because obviously we've had a new movie, but all of the merchandise is still to do with the original. Not all, but a lot of it, and I love that. Yeah, and even if they were to do a sequel version of Beetlejuice, he looks enough like he did before to justify it as well. So
You
it's
go
a win-win.
into Primark, it's just everywhere. Like there's an
Everywhere.
entire floor of Beetlejuice stuff, like the hoodies and backpacks and.
As a
pajamas
Beetlejuice fan,
and
I've
stuff.
never been happier.
I
I
would
just wish
imagine
the
so,
movie
yeah,
was
yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Fuzzy saying, sick of seeing this bloke now. It's everywhere. I'm over it. Chris is saying, I still enjoy Luke. I'm not sick of him just yet.
Thanks, guys.
Oh. Chris, brace yourself.
Yeah. So.
That looks like me in the middle when I go out on a weekend.
You wish.
Mate, the thing is, right, with Hocus Pocus, you got to think we've had almost 20 odd years where we didn't get a single piece of merchandising for this movie, even though it was one of the most popular Disney Channel movies of all time. And they never released anything, and now all of a sudden they're releasing all sorts. But Monster High have decided to give us a 3-pack of the Sanderson sisters. It'll be available later on this month as a part of Mattel Creations, and also on Walmart and Amazon. And I'm definitely getting it. I love these. I think these are ace. I've always wanted the Hocus Pocus on some form on my shelf. And Disney did give us dolls about a year or two ago, but they wanted like £200 per doll. I mean, that's like you're in Hot Toys prices at that point.
Yeah.
Whereas this whole collection is less than £100. It's like 80 quid for the set.
I don't think
Which I
I've
don't
even
think's bad.
seen Hocus Pocus, you know. James,
Oh,
you're
Mate,
terrified.
Dude, you're
Get out.
missing out.
I no word of a lie, had like chronic nightmares for years. When I saw this film when I was
Guys, Hocus Pocus, One Good Scare. Get it done. Like
Yes.
release it this year for Halloween. Like you have to.
I don't think I've ever seen it. Have you seen it, Andy?
Oh yeah. My kids love it. I'm just wondering, what does a chronic nightmare look like, James?
chronic, like repeatedly over years.
Well,
It's scarred
Um,
for life.
Sorrel,
Yo.
what's happening with the Mattel creations in regards to shipping to the UK? Because there's been a few items now that I've tried to order and they just say no, not shipping to your country.
Yeah, apparently it's a glitch in the system. Mattel have said several times that they're trying to fix it, but I don't get why it's taking so long because it's been since like before Street Sharks.
Because stuff's
It's been a
selling out.
long time.
Stuff's selling out before I can even buy it. It's like they
Yeah.
don't even want my money.
This is why this set is one of the first ones Mattel Creations to also go to Walmart and Amazon. So in the UK and Europe, we'll get it on Amazon.co.uk basically.
Right.
So there is going to be other alternative ways of getting these now. Plus, I'm not sure if you've noticed, but Smiths have started getting some of the Mattel Creation stuff as well now, like the Howley Day, Monster High, and some of the I think Street Sharks are going to be in a couple of weeks. So they are slowly getting more Mattel stuff bit by bit. So it is getting easier to get.
Right, chaps. I want to do just a little minute or two on. I'm scared that I've found a new hobby that I might want to start collecting. So a little while ago, I put a picture up of a Sentinel head, which I missed, unfortunately. But it led us to this guy, Jack of the Dust. Have you guys seen any of his stuff before?
No, but that looks cool.
Absolutely friggin' amazing. It's all custom-made pieces, limited editions. It was the Sentinel head that really kind of attracted us in the first case. He did this in 2 different versions. They're all hand-painted, sculpted from scratch by him. And when you go back and look through his back catalogue, some of the stuff he does is just absolutely mind-blowing. So that Venom, I love. It's all, majority of the time, based around skulls. So everything he does is skulls. He kind of started off by doing crystal skulls and then developed into all of this stuff. His latest pieces, you've got 2 versions of it there, are the Tarman, which obviously, Luke, you'll recognise.
That guy is the stuff of nightmares.
Yeah.
Like, no word of a lie, all the zombie films in the world, Return of the Living Dead is the scariest concept ever.
So he's done a number of versions of the Tarman. Apparently the colour schemes are from the movie and also from the production art, because there's a different colour on the posters or something. The alien head is phenomenal. I think the Venom is amazing. He's also done a whole host of Star Wars figures, of sculpts. So he's done the Vader, he's done a Darth Maul. He's got a Stormtrooper helmet like that, which is melted. He's got a baby Yoda, which has got half its face missing, and you can see his skull underneath. I just think he's amazing. Very, very tempted by... I was very, very tempted by this Sentinel, and I just missed out on it. I'm eagerly watching, because he obviously, with it all being custom made and custom painted, it's a bit of time between each release. So I'm just waiting to see what other Marvel type stuff he does. But I mean, that alien head, had I seen that when it was live, all of this is sold out now, apart from the Tarman. Had I seen that alien skull live, I might have had to have picked that up, I think.
How much do these go for?
But, right. So prices range. Prices range. The Sentinel was around about 500 quid.
Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Okay.
The Tarman is a little bit more. I think that's about 700 or something. But his earlier pieces range 200, 300 quid up. You can see when you look at his pricing, I think, obviously, as he's getting more advanced and more sales, his prices are starting to... And I think the thing with the Tarman is it's an officially licensed piece, whereas the other pieces aren't officially licensed. But yeah.
Are these just one-off pieces, Peter, or does he make
No,
like a
so
small one?
it's limited numbers. So I think it's like 300 pieces for the Sentinel head.
Oh,
Things
okay.
like that. And like I say, you got the 2 different color variants. There's the pink one, which is from the arcade game, and then there was a more purple version, which was from the comic books. I think it was about 300 pieces per.
You can't buy more than one of these, Pete. Don't say, I might start collecting. Like, you get one of these things. You can't get...
I don't know. I just think they're spectacular.
They are.
You'd have to sell your Cat Slayer to be able to put it anywhere.
I know. I was going to get that. I wanted the Sentinel head because I thought in terms of 1/6 scale figures, I've got a Colossus, and you could put Colossus underneath that, holding the head up as if you'd ripped it off. So I might still check that out on the secondary market, but I just thought it'd highlight.
Commission a James, Peter? Get a James done?
I've got one on order. Yeah.
What are you going to do with that?
Exposed skull. You know what I mean? It's the forehead. I've taken the forehead off. We've got C4 Darkman. Nice to see you. I'm here. You can start now. Thanks very much, bud. Yeah. Any of those pieces jump out at any of you guys?
I mean, they all look incredible, I think.
I remember seeing the Venom one quite a few years back, but I just seeing it in passing, like on Instagram or something like that, and thinking, "Oh, that looks cool." Didn't realize that this was all made by the same person, though.
Yeah.
That Tarman's cool.
What's his name again, Pete?
Jack of the Dust.
Jack of the Dust.
His website's incredible, absolutely incredible. But yeah, very cool. Just thought I would mention him. Right. Back to
Nothing
you.
wrong with a little head.
Nothing wrong with a little head.
So Warner Brothers is prioritizing Hogwarts Legacy. They've had a bit of shit with their game division, like there's been layoffs. Suicide Squad tanked like horrendously, cost them $200 million. So there's been a lot of speculation that they might even just sell off their gaming division completely, which would be like Mortal Kombat and all the DC stuff, everything. But Hogwarts Legacy was a huge hit last year, so they are prioritizing a sequel to that. There was rumors a while ago that they might try and put some like live service fuckery in it, and I'm really hoping that that's not the case. Like, I hope it's just again another, just do what the first game did, just like expand it a bit, Anyone play it? Anyone's played it now?
I played
Yeah.
briefly, but not a lot.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, solid, very, very solid. I mean, for a Harry Potter fan, it's a dream come true, just to fly around Hogwarts and go catch magical beasts and stuff like that.
For me, I'd love it in the sequel if they did it where you went through the years of Hogwarts properly and aged as you went through it, kind of thing. I'd prefer that. Because like
cool.
you joined Hogwarts at like one of the last years of school in the last game. You kind of like, it was like a really weird concept. Whereas if you get the whole going across on the boat and everything like that as a first year student, and sort of adapt the story, like your skill tree grows as you progress, kind of thing.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. More kind of like RPG-ish.
Mm-hmm.
I'd really love a Triwizard tournament.
Oh, that'd be
the thing
amazing.
that'd be the thing I want to see, like where you compete for your house, like in the tournament and stuff. There's all different trials, and I think that'd be really cool. So yeah, very excited about the prospects of that. I'm hoping it doesn't get fucked with too much. Like just make a bog standard sequel, Just do some cool stuff with it, but don't put money shit in it,
It'd be cool to do a game as well, like set at the time of Tom Riddle, when Voldemort's first coming up, and you kind of like there to witness his rise. That'd be awesome.
I would imagine, like, I think 60s is probably like the setting they would go for with this, because like this one's 1880s, so I think you could do like 1920s is sort of too similar. I think if you went forward, 60s would be interesting, So. Yeah, that'd be cool to see.
Really cool.
And then, does anyone remember a game I mentioned called Concord here? I think an episode or two ago. It was like Sony announced it, a live service shooter. Looked very kind of like generic Overwatch style thing. Nobody remembers?
If Simon was here, he'd say, yeah.
And they didn't actually. Anyway, I they did like a gameplay reveal, that a beta and everything. I'd covered it on the show a couple episodes ago. It came out in August, at the end of August. It lasted 2 weeks and shut down now. Nobody bought it.
Oh, wow.
So it lasted 2 weeks.
I mean, that image isn't exactly appealing, James. I don't even know what the hell it is. It's like a suppository with thumbs.
It's like a robot. Like, it's very. Not to use the word like woke, but it's sort of like all the characters are like kind of like,
Don't go there, James.
like
Don't
it's as
go
if it's
there.
it's as if it's written by like a teenager today. Do you know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Very cultural references and that kind of thing.
I don't understand. Please explain.
I
James
won't.
is cancelled.
Which is, I mean, I don't have a problem with, but I think like in terms of mass market appeal, it doesn't necessarily help. So preachy, I think some people called it. So yeah, it just absolutely bombed, tanked. Like nobody bought it at all.
In other words,
So it came out 2 weeks. Funny enough, physical copies were like going on eBay for like 200 or 300 because like obviously there's not going to be more of them. So people wanted sealed copies, even though the game doesn't exist anymore. So my guess is that they'll kind of put it back in the oven for a bit and maybe release as a free to play game down the road, because like reviews were like decent. Like it was apparently very solid. It's just like it's hard for a live service game to pull people away from what they're already playing. Like, why would you get this when you have Overwatch, when you have, the Helldivers, or when you have like other, whatever else you're playing, like hero shooters? Like, why would you play this?
Yeah, interesting. Fuzzy, in relation to the Venom sculpt, I see Andy Serkis is playing Null in Venom. I'm going to be talking about this on my Saturday or Sunday show. Fuzzy, very weird because
is that confirmed?
No, it's not confirmed. But I'd heard that Norman was playing because everyone got excited.
Norman
at the
Reedus,
time. Yeah, so Christ only knows. But yeah, it's very odd. Very odd. Fortnite, Andy, you are down with the kids, aren't you, tonight? You all the big stuff.
Well, what can I say? Guys, I try to encourage people to think of Lego as enjoyment and as an investment opportunity. I don't think I've convinced many people yet, but I'm getting there. But I think this is the line that people should be focusing on if that is going to be the way forward. And the line they'll go down. This was released today, this line. There's, keep me right here, James, 650 million registered Fortnite users, I believe, give or take.
Yeah. So
like,
one in 20 people in the world play Fortnite.
Yeah, over a million people are playing it like every day and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If there's going to be any Lego run that comes out that I would pick up multiple of and hold, it would be these. This one in particular is the Fortnite Battle Bus. It's 954 PCs, comes in at $89.99. You're certainly paying a premium for this, but I would imagine that this will sell very, very quickly and in large quantities. So, is this something you could see yourself picking up, James? Been a bit of a gamer?
No, don't like Fortnite.
No,
never been a fan.
Oh, you don't like Fortnite? Oh, okay.
No, never been a fan. So I'm also not a big Lego guy, but like I could see like this will be in very high demand. Like there's a lot of crossover of kids who like Lego and kids who play Fortnite, so I can see this being very popular. The only thing I would be skeptical of is how many have they made. There's probably like quite a lot of stock of this. So like in terms of like investment, that's the thing I'd be wary of. But yeah, I mean, this will probably sell out everywhere, I would think.
And those 9 minifigures that you get with this set look fantastic as well. So another reason to pick it up.
If Lego have got the Fortnite license, I'll be very surprised if they don't do a Lego minifigure series with Fortnite.
Yeah.
Because there's so many skins available that could just pump out.
Did they make a Lego Fortnite game? Wasn't that a thing?
Yeah, so it's as part of Fortnite. You can play Lego Fortnite, and it's a bit like a survival Animal Crossing style kind of game.
Nice. Okay. Mad.
C4 don't mean is just because I go downstairs. My son doesn't even play Fortnite. He watches people play Fortnite on YouTube, and I'm sat here. And again, I'm going to moan. I'm going to bitch on, guys. I sat here thinking I struggle to get 15 people watching me shows, and these fuckers have got millions of people watching them play Fortnite. And it's like I just don't understand. Maybe we need to start doing that, guys.
Mate, just go watch Ali A, and then you'll just quit YouTube because all he does is react to reaction clips. He reacts to reactions, and he gets millions of followers a day. It's ridiculous.
See, I think the thing, Peter, is they're entertaining, and they have a personality. And
wow,
what's he saying about my Lego slides?
What a prick! What a prick! Yeah. C4 Dog means saying Leatherface and Jigsaw coming out for Fortnite and Halloween.
Yeah, they are.
Interesting crossover. Phil, I've got many thoughts on. No, keep it for the weekend, Phil. Keep it for the weekend. The banana Fortnite thing is literally to be a winner long term. Yeah.
Peely. It's called Peely.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got a large figure, Lego figure of that they released today as well. Looks amazing.
Wow. Most of the figures in that set are from the main roster. I hate Ali A. I'm not going to go and check out Ali A. We've got the Nando Knight. How are you doing, bud? I hope you are well. Cheers from the West Coast across the pond. Nice to see you, bud. Nice to see you. That's what most comic book YouTube is nowadays, to be fair. That is true. That is true. Now, I think we talked about these when me and James, you were there as well, Cyril. I was going to say jumped on your channel, but I forgot you jumped in from America as well. I think we touched on these with Jacob. Secret Wars line.
Not excited for these at all.
Luke, is this your slide?
So this is my slide that I put in as a stand-in because our dear friend Simon isn't with us. So this is normally what he would cover. So I sacrificed one of my slides for him.
He's still alive, guys. He's still alive. He's
gone.
That's not confirmed, Andy. Let's not start rumors.
We have no idea what has happened to him.
You probably get that puffer fish that kills you, probably. So
like the Simpsons.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so Secret Wars figures being re-released. Yeah, I much like you guys, I'm a fan of the original wave that they released back in the day, and if I wanted these figures, I would buy those.
Yeah.
So doesn't really do anything for me. But Secret Wars is going to be a massive thing in name only for the MCU. I'm sure they'll change everything that we all love about it to be something else. So yeah. Sorry, Simon, it's a bit of a wasted slider that I'm not really going to
Do we
talk
know
about
how
it.
much these retail for?
I think they're standard price, aren't they? Like 25, 30 quid.
Yeah, $24.99. They come on the fancy card backs, but they're the same price. It's 20. Hasbro used this card back to get around the whole plastic window thing. It's one of the many like ways they've done it over the years now.
Okay.
Yeah. But what I do like is this animated 2-pack, which I think they've been doing really well with these releases. It is a shame that it's a 2-pack, but I do really like the fact that we're getting the holdable mask. Of course you could put the spare head in his hand and have him holding it, but that's not how the mask is. It's fabric mask. It needs to be hanging and everything else. So, that's the selling point for me with this set. If I was going to buy it, unfortunately, I've let all of my Marvel Legends go. I've kept a handful for myself. I've given the rest to my son, and then I sold whatever was left. So it's not really a line that I'm collecting anymore.
Yeah, I'm the same.
It's interesting that we get the young version of Vulture as well. I quite like that.
Yes.
He didn't stick around that long, that version of Vulture, did he? I don't think he was de-aged for that long.
No, because in the animated series, they actually turn him into the Man Spider, don't they? They transfer it from Peter into the Vulture, and he becomes some horrid monster.
Yeah. Hashtag rip Simon. Sorrel. This is quite nice.
Yeah, this was like massively nostalgic for me when this got announced. Obviously, 5 POA Batman figures were big back in the day in Kenner. We're getting a release of these from Mezco Toys that as part of their 5-point articulation figures. There's even going to be a Batmobile available. They're doing a whole line of 90s Batman. I'm very excited by it.
So that Joker is very similar to the one that we just looked at earlier in the show, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
The same design, same costume.
Yep. So these are basically like the old Kenner figures, basically re-released.
Yeah.
Just newly designed and stuff like that. But they're exactly the same. They're all 5 POA. So they're all like the classic Kenner style figures we had as kids. I think that's like the massive selling point on these.
Yeah, I love that Batman figure as well.
The Batmobile looks awesome as well. It comes with the retro packaging as well. All of them are in the retro style packagings that we had back in the day. So they just look awesome.
Does his belt come off, Batman? Because the original had the kind of the wire on the belt, didn't it? That you could.
Yeah.
I don't quite understand why, because his belt didn't shoot off in the movie and wrap around things, but never mind.
Action features, Pete. Action features. That's what.
Mate, they also made a scuba diving Keaton, but that never happened either.
It did. Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. I like those. They're very cool. James.
Couple of game releases. So there was keep with the Harry Potter theme. There was a Harry Potter Quidditch game that came out. So IGN gave it a 6 out of 10. I haven't had a chance to play it myself yet, but it was free for PlayStation Plus this month, so I have it. I just haven't had a chance to boot it up yet. But like I've seen some gameplay of it. I like the look of it, so I'm quite excited to. I think it's just very shallow. Like it's not like something you play for ages at the moment, at the start. But I used to love that PS2 Harry Potter Quidditch game, so I'm excited to give this a go. I thought it was a shame that Hogwarts Legacy didn't have Quidditch in it, because I fucking love Quidditch. So yeah, I'll be giving this a go soon. And then it's a shame I didn't know Simon wasn't going to be here, because he would mostly touch on this. But there's a new Zelda game came out. This is the one where you play as Zelda. It's Echoes of Wisdom. So, but like most Zelda games, pretty much got flawless scores across the board, 9 and 10 out of 10. So it's in the style of, there was a remake of one of them that came out last year, so it's in that kind of same cutesy kind of Funko Poppy kind of art style. So there's a 2. And then I just want to quickly touch on, because I just started playing it today, but Astrobot, the full game. I'm just in love with Astro all over again. Like, it's just, I booted up. I only played for 2 hours. I've done a few levels, and it's just so much fun. It's so just my heart, my nostalgic PlayStation heart. It's just,
it looks fun. I have to say, it does look
so
fun.
Good. Yeah. If you like Rescue Mission or Playroom, Astro's Playroom, it's a full game of that, and it's just great. And like, it was fun. Just like as soon as I started walking, I was like, oh, my muscle memory from that game kicked in as well. So it's like it's it's a cool continuation. So
And I think, you know, like Andy says, we all agree it's sad that Simon will never get to play that Zelda game. It's a shame. He would have liked it.
he's buried with his copy of it, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Never, still in the wrapper.
Has James had his eyebrows done?
I have my eyebrows, plucked and everything. No, I got a haircut, so like part of it is that they
Your
draw
eyebrows
eyebrows,
do
isn't
look particularly kind
thin.
of sculpted, don't they? Look at them.
Literally, she just ran a thing over them. So like,
Oh, so that you have had your eyebrows done, is what
well,
you
do you know when you get a haircut?
So you have had your
They
eyebrows.
do your
done, James, is
hair
what-
and then they do your ears
Trimmer.
and stuff, and they're like, "Do you want to do your eyebrows?" And I'm like, "Sure, why not? Go for it."
Okay.
Yeah.
To have had them waxed.
I should have denied that, shouldn't I?
You should have.
Okay.
You should have. Well spotted, Chris. Chris is obviously, you know,
It's on
just
top form. today.
absolutely scrutinize your facial features. It's nice that. Nice to know he cares.
Yeah.
Okay, last couple of slides, chaps. This is more figures from InArt. These are coming up for pre-order this month as part of their Lord of the Rings line. I know Phil has picked up a couple of these or ordered these. We've got Legolas, which looks absolutely friggin' amazing. And then we've got the Nazgul. So you can get this in two versions. You can get it with a standard kind of base. And then you can get the special feature, which comes with the horse, the steed.
Horse looks great.
Absolutely friggin' amazing, these figures. They are just top notch. Absolutely top notch. I just love them. I'm not a massive Lord of the Rings collector, but I think
If
if
you
were,
are though,
Yeah.
you're living your best life right now because you got the
Oh,
Aragorn,
yeah.
you got Gandalf, you got these two. I'd imagine we'll have a Gimli announced pretty soon.
they've not
you're
done a
gonna have
Gollum
Gollum.
yet from InArt, I don't think. I can't say I've
No,
seen.
not yet. I remember asking you about it a while ago.
Yeah.
There was just that company that did one a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
and it wasn't very good. I'd heard so.
Like I say, I'm not a collector, but the Nazgul just looks absolutely amazing.
I'd imagine we're getting the entire fellowship anyway, and like, but also you're gonna have some crazy bastards that are gonna buy like 9 Nazguls to have
Yeah.
like the
Yeah,
whole
the full team.
thing.
Yeah. So yeah, very, very sexy. I like these a lot.
My my favorite fact about Lord of the Rings is that Frodo and Legolas never actually speak to each other in the entire trilogy.
Never noticed that. Never
No.
noticed that.
And my bow, he says, and my bow, doesn't he, to him?
Mm-hmm. He does.
No, yeah, maybe.
So he does-
You're right, yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
Oh,
never mind, Luke. Never
Hey, where's the
mind.
Right,
bullshit
because-
button? Where's the Simon button now? We have to pull it up.
goes to show
Wait a
you
minute.
shouldn't believe everything you hear on the internet.
That's
Did
exactly.
Luke just die on screen there?
I did. It's not on my channel. I don't care.
Yeah, you're okay. You're okay.
Yeah, your reputation.
I'll
Um,
survive.
Right, let's just quickly catch up with the chat.
You are right though. He does only say the one line. I've just googled it. He does only say
That's
the
the
one
line.
line to Frodo. It's the only line he says to him in the whole franchise.
Mad.
Phil's saying I have to go for these, at least the Legolas. See, Phil, I like the other one better, I have to say. Fuzzy's never seen Lord of the Rings. Wow. Fuzzy.
What?
To be
Very,
fair, I
very
had never
good
seen
ones.
Lord of the Rings until 2 years ago either myself.
What?
Very
It's like
cool.
a nerd rite of passage.
Yeah.
You have to watch Lord of the Rings at some point.
Seeing them at the cinema was just on the big screen, just phenomenal.
I remember one of the first movies I saw in the cinema was the first one, and I remember being horrified when the bloody Uruk-hai got beheaded. I was like, Jesus, I was like 6.
Yes, but you've had chronic nightmares from Hocus Pocus.
From Hocus Pocus, not from that. I can watch Scream, not a bother,
Yeah.
but the Hocus Pocus switches, no.
Chris is saying that Lord of the Rings is boring as fuck. I started watching one of them when I was 38. It ended, but I didn't want to. I don't have enough life left to watch anymore. Viggo is older now than Ian McKellen was in the. Wow, didn't realize that.
There's a movie, there's an anime movie at the end of the year coming out.
Yeah,
Lord of the Rings one.
Riders of
They're
Rohan.
doing- They're doing the Gollum one, and Ian McKellen's apart coming back. God, fuck, hopefully he lives that long. But Ian McKellen's coming back for it, and then I think Viggo Mortensen's coming back as well. I think there's a few of them.
But that's
so.
that's who I wanted to play Doctor Doom. Vigo, I would have had
Yeah,
playing
Great,
Doctor Doom.
yeah.
He's still time. I'm not convinced. I mean, that's a different show, but I'm not convinced Downey's sticking around as Doom. We're getting another Doom. Fuzzy, my favourite fact, Luke cannot be trusted when it comes to facts.
Someone's got to fill in for Simon, all right? I'm doing my best.
We've got Terry in the chat. Nice to see you, Terry. Like all things, I have the box set of Rings and Hobbit films. Still not watched them. Yeah.
Wow.
That's like my bookshelf. I've got tons of books I've never even opened yet. Sorrel, just briefly tell her about this.
Yeah, so Star Trek and Nacelle have joined forces. Nacelle are the people that have been doing the Biker Mice from Mars, new sort of run of stuff. And the best part about this announcement is they've said they're going to touch on characters and costumes that have never been released before. So it's not going to be a case of like we're going to get Picard, Spock, the usual. Cast of characters like Data and Worf. We're probably going to get newer characters because they are allowed to make stuff right up to the modern day Netflix stuff, and the stuff that's on Prime. So we're going to get some really cool new characters and costumes.
But will they look good against the others if they're not going to make them? If they're not going to make versions of them, are they going to look good next to other versions on your shelf? That's the trouble, isn't it?
Well, no, because these are going to be Nacelle, aren't they? So they're going to be the same scale as Biker Mice, I'd assume.
Yeah.
So they're going to be 6-inch. I don't think we've ever really had, other than Super 7, really had 6-inch Star Trek. It's always kind of been 3 3/4. So it's new territory. I think what they're saying is, what I took from it was they're not going to focus on the original trilogy, like the original, Next Generation original series. I think they're going to go for the more modern Star Trek line of
Do you
stuff.
think we'll get some of the animated stuff from the Below Decks?
Below Decks. That'd be funny if they did.
That'll be pretty cool. Fuzzy's just asking a question here. Now, I haven't read any, I don't think, but Auntie, I don't know if you have. Have you read any of the Nacelle stuff? The Biker Mice and the Captain Power and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I weren't a fan.
It's not great. I think they're holding on to that sort of nostalgia thing, but that was enough to keep me going.
Yeah, I was the same. I read the Biker Mice stories and not interested.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I ordered them through Slab Crusader, and I'm waiting for the full set or something before he ships. But I didn't get overly excited. I think I ordered a set where you get a free robot or something, some weird robot thing.
That's usually the case though, because they did the Thundercat series recently, the He-Man series recently. They've all been pretty poor. It's like they're just relying on the nostalgia factor.
Transformers is the only one that's been good, isn't it, Andy?
Well, Terminators, speaking of your man Declan, Terminators out this week.
Yeah, I'm not confident on Declan. Phil's got a bounce. Thanks for joining, Phil. Do appreciate you, bud. Chris, Star Trek is Kirk. Oh, fuck off. Picard's the best. Okay, ladies and gents, that's your whack. That's our show. Pretty much done. Just going to quickly touch on a few things coming up on the channels. So over on my channel, we've got my whole host of usual stuff. You know all the shit I do. We've also got my new live show every weekend or most weekends where I just go live at a random time and I go live to talk cack. We've got Killer Comic shows on Thursday. This Thursday, Andy, what are we reading?
Who cares?
Okay, it's just us. It's Tom and who's the other one? Charlie on this time.
Who's the other one? Oh my god.
Frankenstein. We're reading Frankenstein, man. Come on. So we've got Frankenstein to read on Thursday, so looking forward to that. James, one good scare. What's happening on One Good Scare?
Well, it's actually our birthday today. It's been 1 year now. October 1st when we set the channel up. Our first video will be during the week. It'll be our first video, like 1 year anniversary. So we're Friday. We have the live show. Yeah.
Not this Friday.
Not this Friday.
No, not this Friday.
Reliable, unbelievable. Well, we'll do a show during the. We'll do one another. We'll do it live anyway, 1 year kind of thing, and we will have some Terrifier stuff coming up for Terrifier 3. So both of us have now seen both movies, the first two movies. So we'll talk about that in some format. I think we'll probably be right back for that.
I wasn't expecting to like them, but
we'll
like
them. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. So that to look forward to anyway, and then the live show coming up. So
good stuff. Good stuff. I've just put out a video with all of my 1/6 scale action figures, so please do check that one out. Next Tuesday's show is one new show this week, Year in Geek, where we're looking at the key geek-related movies, TV shows, comic books, games, and toys from a particular year. Doing 1977 next Tuesday, so I hope you'll join me for that. That should be interesting. Luke, what have we got coming up on Hydra Collectibles?
Yeah, well, just quickly, you guys share the birthday with my little boy. It was his 6th birthday today, so I'm
planned
going
it
to
that
always remember
Yeah.
that One Good Scare has the birthday on the same day.
Grand.
Happy
You know,
birthday.
get the important things out of the way. Over on my channel, the Hydra Review, I have revisited an old movie from childhood, which is Batteries Not Included. And I basically just wanted to give it a rewatch, watch it with my kids, and basically see if the film still holds up or if we are simply remembering it through rose-tinted glasses. So if you want to hear my thoughts on that particular movie, head on over to the channel and check it out.
Good stuff. Haven't seen that film for years. Sorrel, what's happening over on your channel?
I go out on a Sunday night with Jacob doing the Geek Week in Review. That's our podcast that we do every Sunday night at 9:30 p.m. UK time. Other than that, I'm working through the giant ass box of Transformers that Hasbro lovingly sent me. Other than that, I've got some more Street Fighter figures coming up from Jada, and it's Halloween, so a bunch of Halloween and horror shorts will be on the channel.
Good stuff. Loads of good stuff coming. And Andy, anything from you?
No.
Well, we have got plans afoot, haven't we, for a new live show that myself and you are going to be doing. So hopefully we'll get some news out about that shortly. Okie dokie. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Really do appreciate you jumping on. Join me next month for more toy goodness. I'm going to hit end stream now and see what happens because we've got some new weird options on StreamYard. So we might just disappear or we might not. Let's see what happens.